waves, the Argo sails through tempests fierce and ghostly wails. Primordials rise, their shadows spread. The earth it trembles, by fear it's fed. But we are the spark, the morning light.